Don't blink. It's your Blaine coming to you mid-video. Today is the 27th May 2025. The Tricorn is kind of nice. I do like it. It's special because there's nothing. Compared to yesterday, there's nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the usual suspects for Nature Corn. Before I continue, I know I'm giving you guys a lot of the same some of the same landscape, but it's just that I have so many landscape on. I have two different landscape on the balcony, and I just think this one is the best looking. So instead of giving you a product that you won't like, I'll give you the same product that you like. There you go. See, not so great, not so bad. Okay, I'm back to you guys. I'm sorry about this. So yeah, so I remember the taste of the candy can. See, these are day of good ADHD where I can focus on multiple things at once, and it's great. I knew it was gonna taste. I knew all of the taste without the banana. All the taste together tasted really well. So if I'm being completely honest, the birthday cake tasted a little bit like birthday cake, but the MVP was the mix. The salted caramel did not taste like salted caramel, but it tasted good. The ice pop did taste like ice pop. So with this banana, you have your blend, you have your organic water. I just took a shower and it was water in my ear. It's really nice. You have the banana almost as a second flavor. First flavor is without a doubt cream soda. So there's a large taste of cream soda. It does feel more so like a banana flavored cream soda. The good thing with this, I don't like cream soda and I don't like banana. So you made me like two things that I didn't like, which is great. I shout out. I was talking to somebody yesterday and she was really cool and I was like, who made you this cool? And she's like, oh, Jesus. And I was like, shout out to Jesus. And she laughed. So that was cute. Where am I? So banana. I wish it was more of a taste of bananas, which is weird because I don't like banana because right now, like I said, it isn't normal that I'm tasting a product and I already know I'm gonna like it. It isn't normal that I'm tasting a product and before we even open it, I kind of know what it's gonna taste like. I'm not a culinary genius, don't worry. So it's not normal. I would have liked a better taste of banana, because that's your secret weapon. You can have as much, and I do mean you can have as much as you want with. Oh man, this is so complex. You can have as much as the flavor that you're adding, but you're not gonna change the blend because if you change the blend, then it's becoming unbalanced, and if it becomes balanced, it becomes not good. So the only thing that you can add is more banana taste and less banana taste. Is banana a flavor that's overpowering? I don't know. However, I do think that this tastes good. And what sucks here is, I absolutely think it tastes good. I absolutely think. I don't know if I would buy it again. Yeah. So, that's pretty much it. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Dumb link is your blank. Welcome to the Computer Show. Guys are doing well on this 27 May 2025. It is warm as fuck outside. We are playing the tower. We are chilling. You're gonna see my father for supper. He said, "Oh, come over for supper." I'm like, sure, dear father. We're drinking banana candy can, which is not that bad. Minion can, which is kind of cute. I do like the minion can. I think it looks really cute. Want to see it? There you go. Today we're talking about, especially growing up, getting more mature, but getting more grumpy. My apologies. I'm extremely lucky in the sense that I only had one grandparent, and she was amazing. My grandma sadly passed away a year before I sadly passed away a year before I was born. My father's father was an alcoholic, and my mom's father was somebody that she didn't even talk to. So how am I supposed to have a relationship with a guy that my mom don't think is good enough to have a relationship with, right? But I've always seen like older people and my parents as kind of grumpy, right? My mom still has that magic. She still believes in the future. She still has hope. My father's like, nah, it's a jungle, dog eat dog. If you don't eat that dog, it's gonna eat you. And I'm like, dude, okay. I love dogs, so why would I eat a dog? Or why would he eat me? But it's a kind of a weird concept as a kid, but something that stays. More so because of the trauma than because it's real. Somebody asked me, I think they were joking. I hope they were joking. Dude, what would you do if you had it sucks. It sucks. What would you do if you were invited to the Streamer University? And for a second, I thought about it, and this, before I even start talking, this is not me being an asshole, this is not me being grumpy. Disclaimer, we were supposed to possibly have a relationship that didn't work, supposed to have a job that didn't work, so right now we're in a mood, in a mindset of count your chicken before you slay them, you know? So there was after seconds where I was like, oh well, and then I was like, fuck that, I wasn't invited, and it wasn't with filter. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't with filter. It's not something that I thought about before I said. Just something that I blurred out. I wasn't invited, and at the moment, I didn't think it was an asshole thing to do. But then I talked about this guy was being nice to me then, and even if he was joking, it's a fucking joke. Relax, right? So like you were an asshole to him. Slated for deep sleep. Okay. I guess we could say mass. And I was like, dude, you were an asshole to this guy. He did deserve it. And at the same time, I started thinking about, see, with this, I said, okay, well, what created this feeling? And then again, the relationship and the work didn't work. The work didn't work. Sound proper, but it's going to be proper today. And I was like, okay, well, maybe you're learning lessons in life. I made a video about that this morning. We went out for a little bit of a scooter ride, which was nice, really nice. And I was like, with the experience that you're getting, I need to check if I recharge my scooter. Oh shit. Machine. And of course, we didn't charge it. So I don't know why. I went to my father's house in about 40 minutes. So yeah. Whoopsie. Yummy. It's so complex. I made a video about this morning because we went out, and I was talking about the evolving and maturing and realizing that shit was shit. So I'm becoming a bit more kind of scar. To me, a scar is a lesson, right? You got a couple of scars. These are all people that say, "Hey, does your tattoo have meaning?" Yes, it do. Does your car have meaning? No, I'm just a fucking dummy. But with scars, it's a proof of you being wounded. It's also proof of you learned the lesson. Hopefully. Well, I got a huge burn scar. Thankfully, I won't play with fire. I still do. Whoops. With this, I was like, fuck. You're maturing, and I don't think maturing and experiencing life is automatically being grumpy. However, a lot of your role model that is older and more mature are grumpy. So I'm like, bro, can I escape this, right? And my apologies. Escaping things shouldn't be part of maturity. Part of maturity should be the more you live, the more you experience, the more you see, right? My apologies. And it should be that, but I just felt bad, and I was wondering what made me turn on it. My apologies. See, we're drinking a lot of, we're eating a lot of junk food, to be honest. And to a certain degree, I don't think the person was hurt by what I said, but it's just a warning. You should be careful to how you talk to people. You should be careful how people might perceive what you say, right? I had an interview last Friday, and I didn't get the job. And they called me to say, hey, this is why you didn't get the job. So apparently when I came in, it's so fucking funny. They wanted to hire me, because I had experience in unloading car. Um, they want experience. They wanted some experienced people, and I had experience. Not even my last job, thing that I did 10 years ago, right? And they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna talk about this. It's actually a super cool subject too. Um, to me, like, okay, well, this isn't a bag, but they were like, well, you didn't ask a question about the job, first of all, which makes you seem like you're not interested. Second of all, when we ask you why did you choose this place, I might still make the job, so I'm not gonna say this place. Why you choose this place? Instead of saying, well, I love your company, I love your product, you said, well, you had a available position. I live close. This is a good job. There's a lot. That's what I said. There's a good job. There's insurance. There's a good pay. There's good hours. So it was like, okay, well, you wouldn't care about working at the same place like this. We want somebody that wants to work for us. You know, and ultimately speaking, I think they're right. I think they're right. Because I think that makes me a bad employee. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Yes and no. Because I can understand what they're trying to say. If you had another offer, you would leave this company. But at the same time, I think that most people stay at a job for people, right? So as long as you have a good team and they're nice, I'll pre-value a good team with a shitty salary versus a possible shitty team with a good salary. I was working at this place when I was 20, called Quebec. And you guys don't know the blue building. And there was this guy, Martin, and he was such a fucking asshole. But I mean an asshole. He was constantly being rude. But Martin had this huge problem. He was a weed smoker. So Martin, in the morning, he was a complete dick. And it was this weird company, this really weird company, where we would work from 7 to 3:30. We would have our first break at 10:15 till 10:30. We would have our lunch break at 1 o'clock. Then we would have another break at 2 o'clock. Very weird. And him, he would come in not high, and then he would smoke at his break and be nice. And then around 2 o'clock, he would be mean again because his high is done. But for 4 hours every day, I had to deal with an asshole, right? I would have chosen a job with less money for less of an asshole. But again, you're so shy. There's this whole snitches get stitches, but more so there's a code of don't snitch on people, right? And this guy's an asshole. And it's funny because, man, it was this other guy, right? I don't remember his name. I don't know, something like that. And he came in, and Martin was an asshole too, right? And the guy just quit. And he said, "Oh, Martin's an asshole." And then when the boss asked me, and that I'll always regret. When the boss asked me, "Is Martin really an asshole?" Instead of saying he's not the nicest guy, I was like, "No, he's okay." And in this case, I think young Ink, my apologies, young 20-year-old Ink was hoping for two things. Maybe he would be thankful that I did snitch, or maybe we have a better relationship. Nope, didn't give a fuck. He's an asshole. And this was my only chance to say, hey, he's an asshole. Then go to the boss after had to say, hey, I lied, he's an asshole. It doesn't look good for you, right? So we didn't get the job for that. And you have a lesson to learn. But this lesson to learn, and this is exactly what we're talking about. This is about being grumpy. This is about being kind of an asshole. Fuck. See, the next time I'm dealing with an asshole, I'm gonna go right away and tell him, hey, fuck you, right? And even then, that's my fault. So there's really two, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound narcissistic, but I'm the perfect person to talk about this. So we had Martin, who literally bullied us every single day. I was 20. We had my boy, the fucking douchebag that gave me death threats and gave me death threats, give me violence threats, punch me. He would use a piece of wood to hit me. It was like Martin. It was like Martin. If I learned my lesson with Martin, I would have told this guy, fuck you, don't do that. You know? And I didn't learn my lesson because I didn't learn my lesson when I'm faced with the same situation. What if the whole thing with Martin was only a experience to feel go like that, right? What if it was that? But then this is part of maturing and part of being grumpy. Part of being grumpy is not allowing this person to say, hey, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe you can win them over, you know? Trust me, I try to win them over. And then at one point I stopped trying, and this guy was, oh, don't try to be my friend. I've been trying for 40 years to be your friend, dude. The fuck? Anyway. So yeah, so you learn lesson, but some of them, and I think it would be unconscious or stupid at least to expect every situation or every lesson in life to make you a better person. Some of them will it's like a girl who got cheated by her ex, and then she has this new boyfriend, and she's like, oh, are you gonna cheat on me? No, why? Well, my ex cheated on me. Okay, that's it, I'm a different person, right? But you cannot be mad at her for having these thoughts because her ex did cheat, right? That's pretty much it. That made her a worse person. But the worst person wasn't her. The worst person was the person that cheated, right? They have scars once again, and those scars are you have to kind of learn to live with them, kind of. If that makes sense. So yeah, I just think it's baloney. I think it's baloney. That most of the lessons in life are gonna make you a worse person. The whole point of this video was talking about my parents and how life made them grumpy, right? And my apologies. And my mom, she still has that hope. But my mom, she's extremely nice to people. She's extremely nice to people. So a lot of time when she's gonna be in trouble, people are gonna help her. And by helping her, she doesn't learn the lesson, right? So she's not that jaded from life because she didn't have moments of being jaded. And that's pretty much it. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. I was gonna give you guys a nice outro, but I don't have any. So a little bit of a sip. A little bit of a sip. Peace. Dumpling, you're buying. Welcome to the Computer Show. Guys are doing well on this 27 May 2025. We're having a beautiful, beautiful morning behind us. We're having some good weather for the first time in a week. Tomorrow will be the same thing. A bit worried because my phone, when it gets hot, it stops recording, and I want to record because we only have 15 minutes before I go to my father's house. Nice little supper, nice little talk, hopefully. Some good times, hopefully. Can I hope for that? Can I hope for that? I would love to hope for that. So yeah, today we're talking about a specific subject, me falling back in love with anime. My apologies. My apologies. We're drinking Kitty Can Minion, which is basically the blood of a minion. Now, before you strike this for violence, minions don't exist. So even if I was to have a bunch in a cage in my home and I was to drink their blood, you wouldn't be able to say, hey, you know? It's like me capturing a unicorn, like Voldemort, and then you say, oh, he's drinking the blood of a unicorn. The police come and say, hey, are you drinking the blood of a unicorn? I'm like, no, there's no unicorn. It doesn't exist. Long story short, why am I falling back in anime? Look at the segue. Oh, anime segue, that rhymes. So we're falling back in love with anime. I think the craziest thing is how we got to fall back in love with anime. So there's gonna be some great news at the end of this video, so watch till the end, or don't. What do I give a fuck for? The first thing is, you can tell that I was out of anime, I wasn't talking about anime. I had this constant fear of constantly being the anime guy.